Thank you, sister.
Okay. Thank you for
My apologies. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much for letting me know that. Okay.
So you asked about a plant. One that is very common in this area would be plantain, Plantago major or Plantago lanceolata. There's broadleaf plantain and there's lancet leaf plantain, and it's very easy to identify. It has 5 ribs on the backside, and the lancet and the broadleaf plantain, and it is the seeds of it is used in Metamucil. Mm-hmm. But if you make a chew and spit poultice, meaning if you take a leaf of the plantain and put it in your mouth and get it nice and juicy, the mucilage that comes out of it is very healing. It's called a vulnerary. Vulnerary means that it's healing to the skin. So bee stings, mosquito bites, you slap that on there. My daughter got stung by a bee, told her to go get us some plantain out the yard. Within 5 minutes, she was asleep. This is when she was a little girl. Plantain is, you can put it in your smoothies because I was talking about the mucilage that helps your skin. Well, when you take it internally, it does the same thing. It helps internally. So it's good for exterior and interior. It's just a lovely plant. That's a weed.
Wow.
And I can go on and on all day about weeds.
Yes.
There are several books about weeds. There are several. If you go to YouTube, you just find out a plethora of information. And you can also go on weed walks.
Okay, and you give those too, don't you?
I sure do.
So, before she leaves, she's going to give out some information on how you can contact her and maybe accompany her on a weed walk.
I would love that.
Yeah, I know a common weed that most of us see is dandelion.
Oh,
we see them everywhere.
Yes. It's a shame because dandelion is a weed that we try to eradicate from our lawns every year. We spend millions of dollars as people trying to get dandelion out of our lawn, and it's a weed that everybody needs. Every part of the dandelion is edible. It's medicinal. Everything from the root, it's
even the flower.
Even the flower. You can take the flower and dip it in some pancake batter and make fritters, dandelion flower fritters. The coffee, you take the roots and you roast them, and it makes a coffee substitute. Mm-hmm. You can tincture the root and use it. Taraxacum officinale, that's the Latin name of dandelion. And when a word has officinale in its Latin name, it means that it was used in medicine in a pharmacopoeia, in a nation's standard pharmacopoeia. So our medicines are not.
Just for a moment. Okay. It's a pharmacopoeia.
It's a book of medicines that are used that the government compile. It used to be compiled by the government, but now it's probably the private sector. But it's our medicines were predicated on herbs and animals actually before pharmaceuticals ever came into being.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing information.
Yeah, so dandelion, I know a lot of people suffer with hypertension. Dandelion leaf is good for that. Mm-hmm. In the spring, dandelion is bitter. In the spring, if you collect the young leaves, you can make a salad of it. I see people collecting dandelion leaves all the time. Make sure that the lawn has not been sprayed. But if you go to Whole Foods, you're going to pay $3.49 a pound for dandelion leaves. But you can collect them out your yard. Stop spraying your yard and save some money. Tincture it. It's good for hypertension. It's also called Pissabed because it's a diuretic, and that's what most a lot of hypertensive medicines are. They're diuretics. It makes you excrete urine. So,
wow, dandelion,
yes, and herbs. People tend to want to know, well, what does it do? What's it good for? But there's a magical quality to herbs, and you see that with the dandelion when you see kids picking up the dandelion with the seeds on it, and they make wishes, they blow them into the air, and that's why we have dandelion everywhere. It's prolific because we need it, because the weeds just pollinate through the air pollination. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that is fascinating. Who knew, right?
Our ancestors knew, that's for sure.
Right. Yeah. So we've learned quite a lot from Tiffany Robbins about weeds, and she's also an acupuncturist. And I'd like to know how did you get into wanting to be an acupuncturist?
Oh boy, you're gonna make me cry right now. So I had experienced acupuncture early on, and then I came back to it later. And then my mom, she had chronic illness, fibromyalgia, and a host of other things. And I begged her to go get acupuncture. She was taking these cortisone injections, and they would last, 6 months, then 3 months, then a month, then not even a week. And I said, Mom, she was in terrible pain. Mom, please try acupuncture. And she said, well, how do I know that the needles are clean? I said, how do you know that the doctor's needles are clean? You don't know. You trust. And she was deathly scared of needles, like very, very. She went in to have a procedure at the hospital. They had to give her needles. She said, I need, some Ativan or something to calm her down. And the nurse would bring her to something to calm her down. She said, Tiffany, hand me my pocketbook. This is only 5 milligrams. I got 10 milligrams in my pocketbook. She was just really scared of needles. And finally, I convinced her to go get some acupuncture. And by this time, she was not walking good. She was in a wheelchair, and the place was wheelchair accessible. So that really, really made a good impact for her. When she went in there, it was nice and clean, and the lady was talking to her, making her feel at ease. And the needles went in. She didn't even feel them go in. And next thing I know, she fell asleep.
Wow.
And she woke up, and I was in the chair across from her getting acupuncture. And she said, Tiffany, I'm so sorry. I should have done this sooner. I didn't know. And she said, promise me you'll bring me back. And I said, of course I will. And we went to Whole Foods, and my mom was never going to change her diet. She got Whole Foods, healthy, with air quotes, fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. And that was our thing. We'd go to acupuncture and then go to Whole Foods. And it helped her. It helped her a lot. Yeah.
So then you decided...
When she passed, yeah. She died, and I was already an herbalist, and I wanted another tool in my tool belt, anything to get people out of pain. And I knew how fast that had got her out of pain. And she, my mom had fibromyalgia. She didn't sleep, but she was able to fall asleep in that chair, and that always stuck with me. And me always wanting to learn new things, I said, okay, acupuncture school, right. Here I come.
Okay. And so tell me, how would the average person decide that, other than for pain relief, what would they come to see an acupuncturist? Oh,
boy. Any and everything. You name it. It's not just pain relief. It's for, there's several types of acupuncture. And in the school that I went to was a 5-element acupuncture, and it is good for emotional support as well. So, in China, acupuncture was the primary medicine at one time, and and it was acupuncture and herbs. Here in America, we get things a little bit screwed up. We're like, oh, it's just needles. No, it's acupuncture, herbs, moxibustion. Moxibustion is the burning of mugwort on the needle or the skin. We try to separate things. A lot of that has to do with insurance or whatnot. But in these traditional cultures, people, like if you went to an acupuncturist once a week, you think, oh, that made me feel good. But and when I was in Korea, people go acupuncture 3 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah, so, because of insurance and cost and everything, you think once a week is good. Try seeing what your healing is like when you get, I'll tell you, my teacher, she had dislocated her arm, and we went to Korea last summer, and she was in a sling, and arm was very painful, and they treated her several times a day, and when she came back, she left that sling in Korea.
Wow.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay. Who am I?
My name is
hearing?
My name is
Your name?
Craig. Are you Craig?
Okay, Craig. What's your question?
Are you talking all about acupuncture today?
No, we're not just talking about acupuncture. No, we're talking about different subjects.
Okay.
Did you miss out when we were talking about herbs, Craig?
You just joined us?
Yeah. But is it about herbs, acupuncture, things like that?
Yes. Holistic healing modalities.
Okay. Is it important for somebody to take nopal cactus juice from Arizona? Nopalia.
Nopal. Yes, the cactus.
Oh, so you know about nopal cactus juice?
Yes.
Okay, because I have the lady's phone number who manufactures it herself in Arizona. It has no preservatives. Yeah, I have her phone number.
Nopales is a native plant, and you can grow that. I see it growing here in Philadelphia. You can grow it and make it yourself. That you can fillet the nopale pad. You cut the pricklies off of it, and you can make it into a salad. You can put it into a smoothie. It's like like aloe vera. The mucilaginous gel inside of it is very healing to your gut. And
okay.
And the little the prickly pear, the pink cat, they call it a tuna that grows off of the nopales. It's pink and it makes delicious juice.
Oh, okay, because she picks it herself in Arizona, and then she has somebody make it into jam and make it into a concentrate, and you take 1 teaspoon a day.
Yep. It's very good for you. So those type of plants, I was just, where was I? I was just at the Natural Product Expo, and the guy selling it was a woman and a guy, and they were selling aloe vera juice, and they were saying that if you take a tablespoon to an ounce of aloe vera with your other vitamins, it increases the efficacy of the vitamins. And she showed me studies on that. And when I say studies, it means that people have done research on it, and you can verify it by checking out the studies.
But what kind of aloe vera juice? What's the brand?
It was Lily of the Desert. That was the brand.
Okay, yeah, that's what I buy at Sprouts. Now, you're one of the speakers today on the Grown Folk Talking, right?
Yes.
And what city are you in? New Jersey?
No, I'm near New Jersey. I'm in the tri-state area.
Yeah, we're in Philadelphia right now.
Okay, are you in Erie, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, somewhere around there?
Philadelphia. We're in that area. We're in Philadelphia right now.
Brotherly love, yeah. So, out of all the things, okay, so you're a nutritionist and you're talking about herbs and aloe vera and things like that and acupuncture?
I'm not a nutritionist, but nutrition falls under my scope.
Oh, okay. So, so how do people find you?
Find me for what? What are you looking for?
I mean, are you talking to people about nutrition? Are you doing acupuncture in an office?
No, I'm not. I'm actually right now, I just graduated from acupuncture school. I'm pursuing my license. I'm not licensed yet, so I'm not seeing people. But you could definitely, I do herbal consultations. I do herb walks, stuff like that.
Yeah, Craig, just take a seat, sip on some green tea, and she's going to give you the contact information once she finishes her presentation.
Okay. I'll wait.
Thank you, Craig.
Go ahead.
Thank you, ladies. Craig is very energetic, I should say. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. We appreciate your input and your questions. So we're going to keep going with Ms. Tiffany Robbins. We've talked a little bit about acupuncture, and she's also a raw food chef. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh boy, I like yourself, I had some health challenges, and I turned to raw foodism, and I lost 40 pounds, and hypertension went away, and my third eye was opened up, and I met a whole another world of people, and it was beautiful. Since then, I go back and forth to raw food. It's funny because Chinese medicine poo-poos raw food, and I understand that because their culture comes from a very cold climate, but here in North America, with people with a lot of problems, it is a very good healing modality, and it's fun. It's fun to learn to make things that taste like something you would normally eat. And people say, oh, well, why do you call it that? It's not really a burger, or it's not really tuna, but it gives you the taste or the resemblance of it. And it's very fun. It's nutritious. And I've seen miracles through raw food. So
absolutely. That's so true for me as well with healing from cancer. That was one of the main things that I leaned on for my own personal healing was raw food. I ate nothing but raw food for months, and the healing was in full force, and I attribute it to the raw food. And I've seen tremendous breakthroughs with raw food in myself and other people. So,
and I just want to say when you hear people and they say, oh, I don't believe in that, or it didn't work for me, there is a right and a wrong way to do things. So, you have to make sure that, with raw food, you want to eat a plethora of things. The standard American diet, we eat the same foods over and over again, and that's why a lot of our meals lack the nutrition, the vitality, the vitamins, the minerals, the fiber, because we're not eating a variety of things. Our ancestors, they ate seasonal, and they ate a more varied diet.
Right, and they didn't eat processed foods, which is a real big problem in the sad standard American diet.
Yeah.
Processed foods. Yeah. So Tiffany actually did a class for a group for me and taught us some raw food techniques. We had things like pizza and what else did we have, Tiffany? We made cheese
and pizza and rice stir fried.
But it wasn't fried. Yeah. Nothing was cooked. Everything was raw, and she gave us techniques on how to create the textures and the appearances that we're familiar with those common foods.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yes. Yeah. So I know you've been a raw food chef in restaurants.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, you don't want that story. Well, I like to say I've trained with a lot of people, and I want to give credit to Mama Kay, Mama Khadija here in Philadelphia. She is an elder in our community, and she still makes the best raw food with loving kindness and making it accessible to our people for healing. I studied with Dr. Aris Latham. He's called the godfather of the raw food movement. David Wolf. Studied with a lot of people. And I was, wherever I go, when I travel, I like to say I travel a lot, but I don't travel as much as I would like to. The first thing I do is find out where I'm going to eat, because most people in my family, they say, oh, we'll just get a place with a kitchen and make food. Well, when I'm on vacation, I don't want to cook food. That's not what I want to do. So I find places that have the type of food that I can feel comfortable eating. And so I'm looking for restaurants. And our family goes to Ocean City, Maryland every year. And I found this place called My Nature on the boardwalk. And it was a raw food cafe. And so we parked down at the inlet this one particular year. But My Nature was on 13th Street. And it was a hot summer day. And so I said, anybody want to come with me to go get this raw food? They're like, no, we're playing in the ocean, whatever, no. So I walked 13 blocks on that hot boardwalk to get there. When I opened the door, the fresh smell of wheatgrass. They grew their own wheatgrass there. And the lady was trying to tell me what they had. I said, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. She said, how do you know what all this stuff is? I said, oh, I'm a raw food chef. And she looked at the other lady. It was so funny. And she said, do you want a job?
Oh, wow.
They had a discussion saying they were short a chef, and the one lady, the owner said, well, she'll be walking in within the hour. They'll be walking in within the hour. And I was just like, ah! And I went back and I told my husband I got offered a job. He said, you can't come down here. We live 3 hours away. And it was the best experience. I worked they are part of the Phillips seafood family. And Phillips Crab House.
Oh, everybody knows Phillips.
Yeah. So the daughter-in-law was a seasoned raw food chef, and she had this cafe. And it was funny because my mom was there, and they were eating at the Phillips Crab House, and I just had a breakdown because I had just went to the Phillips house, the owners, and they were eating raw food. And I was just like, wow, it was a great, the cafe is not there any longer, but I worked there 2 or 3 summers, and it was a great experience. I loved it. It was one of the funnest jobs I ever had. We worked with local farmers, 3 or 4 different local farmers would bring in fresh produce. So it had me thinking on the feet, because on my feet, I never knew what they were going to bring in. So I had to, the menu was always predicated on whatever the farmers bring in that day. So the menu changed, and it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And we're on the other side of 9 o'clock now, so I'm gonna ask Tiffany to give her contact information so you can get that, and before we open up for questions. So Tiffany, please tell everyone how they can contact you.
I can be reached. So everybody, I do not have a website, and that's by choice. I'm not ready for a website offering, but I can be reached by social media, or I can give you my phone number. My phone number is 484-343-2172. I'm old-fashioned. I like to talk to people. I deal with electronics like we're doing Zoom right now, but I'm the type of person I like to talk one-on-one with you. So if you call me and I don't have time, we can schedule a time, to talk.
Okay.
Make appointments.
Repeat the number.
484-343-2172.
And is there an email address or?
No, you don't want
What's your social media?
You don't want my email address. I'm still on AOL. That's how old-fashioned I am. I'm still on AOL, and it's overrun. So you don't want to. The best way to contact me is through text or Messenger. I'm Lady Raw 123 on Instagram, and I'm Tiffany Robbins on Facebook.
Okay, so hope everybody got that. I just want to say that I have a couple events coming up myself. I have an event coming up on October 28th. It's a holistic day retreat. And at that retreat, it'll expose some people to new holistic modalities maybe they haven't tried before, or just give them a chance to relax and use some that they're familiar with, like massage, reflexology. We have an infrared sauna. We have foot detox. We have someone come with a
Beamer?
A device called the Beamer. Yeah, it's a electromagnetic frequency machine that is a really it's a healing device. So we have that. We have a healing circle where you can, get some of those things off your chest. Open up your heart and get a little counseling done by my daughter, actually, Tiffany Thornton. And
I saw her on here.
I think she is on here.
Hey, Tiff.
And we something new this time. We're going to have someone give us a Qigong demonstration. Ooh. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that is it's similar to Tai Chi. Okay, there she is. It's similar to Tai Chi. So, and we also have a plant-based meal for lunch that is very healthy. So it's a full day. It's a whole day retreat, holistic retreat. And if you want to contact me in reference to registering for that event, you can call me at 267-334-4655. Again, that's 267-334-4655. Or you can go to my website, and the name of my company it's the Calm Immunity. It's kind of a play on the word community and immunity, so it's the Calm-Community. But the web address is calmimmunity.life, and that's COM-Immunity, IMMUNITY.life. So check us out. I hope, if you're in the Philadelphia area, try to register for that event. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Sharon, I have a question for you. We just completed a 36-hour fast this past week that you led.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a spinoff from one of the events you last had?
Oh, no. Well, yes, I did a class. It wasn't the retreat. I did a class on fasting. Actually, the first time I was on the platform, I talked about that class, and it was a spinoff from that class.
Oh, okay.
So all the participants in the class actually became a part of the group, the fasting group, and then the last one, we added a few people that didn't attend the class.
Me.
Yeah, Tiffany was one of them.
Sharon was very supportive of people during the fast, checking on them, making sure they were okay, seeing if they needed anything. It was it's fun when you do things in community together. You feel supported and not alone.
Right, absolutely. And that's another thing. If you want to join us for our fasting group, you can call me at that same number, 267-334-4655, and I'll put you in the group. And we're fasting once a week.
Permission to speak.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Permission to speak.
Okay. Who's speaking?
We're going to get to that in a couple of minutes. What I would like to say is, if you, the person that's speaking, if this is your show, I want to thank you and say welcome to the Grown Folks family.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
My name is Leon. I have my own show up here, and I just wanted to come on and say welcome to the family.
Thank you so much, Leon. Thank you. We have a couple people who have their hands raised. The first one I saw was Tiffany. Tiffany, you can unmute.
You know, I was just saying hello.
Okay.
I have no questions.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Hello. And we have Renee. Renee, you can unmute.
Thank you. So it's my first time in a huddle team podcast. I want to thank you for bringing this. Sorry, I have an echo. I don't know why. I'll try to turn my volume down. But I had a question regarding the gut. And is it Miss Robbins?
Yes.
My question is, and I don't mean to put personal information out there, but I've been given a diagnosis of a vitamin B12 deficiency, and I know that that's around the gut absorption. And so I wanted to know what herb or what would you, and I'm not asking you to, I'm asking you, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my words right because I don't want to say anything that could cause any harm here. But I'm interested in knowing what herb I could start taking to help support that gut. I take a multivitamin, a B12, vitamin D3 every morning, along with, some herbal teas that I have. What would you suggest as a try to see if it could help me with this deficiency in this gut area?
So so there's a couple of things with the B12 deficiency. Usually, that's one of the cautions of going raw food is that you can become B12 deficiency. B12 stays in your system for up to 5 years without having it introduced again. Everybody's different, but it can last that long in your system before you can see a deficiency. So it's good to get checked for B12. I like to just supplement with B12. There's several ways you can supplement with B12. There's methylcobalamin, there's cyanocobalamin. I personally like the methylcobalamin because it's methylated, and people with B12 deficiencies usually don't methylate very, very well. And methylation is a process, a bodily function process. Also, there's patches, there's sprays, there's all types of ways to get supplement with B12. And one of the ways you can check, this is like an old-fashioned way, is if you stick your hand out, and if your hand is able to stay straight, stay level, but if you see a whole bunch of shaking when you stick your arm and your hand out, that could mean there's a B12 deficiency. There's a lot of research still being done about B12, about vitamins, because a lot of the old ways of thinking they found out new evidence. So I like to stay on top of different research, just for that, for being in practice. But do you supplement right now with your vitamin B12?
Yeah, right now I'm on the shots once a week, and I take a vitamin B12 tablet every morning along with a multivitamin and a D3.
Do you know if it's a methylated B vitamin?
I don't know. I can go and get the bottle. I think it's Nature's Blend.
Yeah, in the ingredients it'll say methylated B12 or cyanocobalamin B12. Those are the major two forms that I know about.
What's the difference?
The one is methylated and one is not. Mm-hmm. But people have different people have different preferences.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the methylated one. I've seen that work a lot faster.
So can you tell me a little bit about methylation? I've heard that term before, but I don't quite understand the process. I haven't done any research on it.
So methylation is, oh boy, how would I describe how things methylate in the body? It's a
It's okay.
So no, I'm just trying to think. So when I first learned about methylation, as you were saying, like with your gut, like when you eat food and your body digests it, there is some research I read, I don't know, it's a while ago, that said that our body once was able to produce the B vitamins by itself without having to intake it. I don't know if that was true, or I should have followed up on it. But the methylation is it's a cellular process, and I would not be the best person to take you through it because I don't want to confuse you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, my sister.
Yeah. I'm not too when I don't know something, I don't want to confuse you even more.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I want to ask you a question that you said earlier, but I want to make a statement to what you're talking about right now. And what I would like to do is invite you and some of your guests that you have on to the Health Man Show. He comes on tomorrow at 9 a.m. He's a wealth of information. 9 p.m. He's a wealth of information. I think you and him and the question that the young lady just asked would definitely get answered.
What's his name?
Health Man. He's a host up here. We have 20 shows up here on Grown Folks Talking, and I like to use the word infinity of information, different information on these lines up here. Yours is going to be definitely a plus all the way around the board with the information that I've heard you bring up here tonight. And if you know, like I said, if you're not doing anything, tomorrow night at 9 p.m., same number, same call-in number. Those that's on the app, just do the same thing. Just join. The call-in number 520-525-8633. It'll put you right in the room. The Health Man. The
Health Man.
Question I want to ask you is you talked about you're going to have an event. I believe you said on the 28th.
Yes, October 28th.
Now,
that's a Saturday.
Yes. Now, what I want to ask you is you said you had different people coming, and you said you had this machine. What was the machine called? Somebody's bringing a machine. You're from Philly, right?
Yes, Philly. Actually, the gentleman that's bringing the machine is from New York City, and the machine is called the Beamer machine.
What's the gentleman's name?
His name is Mike Tyson. Easy to remember.
I'm a little close to you. I'm down here in Atlantic City.
Okay, you're not far.
Yes, I'm a little close to you. Yeah, I think I don't know if I heard of that machine. We had another gentleman up here that had a machine like that. I don't know if it's the machine where they take the panels and you sit between them. Is that the same machine we're talking about?
It's similar, but that's not the same machine. But it is similar, and I'm pretty sure I know which machine you're talking about. They do operate in a similar fashion. They're both, they both use electromagnetic energy.
You're talking about the rice?
You don't sit it. You don't.
Are you talking
the rice machine? Yeah.
Rice machine.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's not the same machine.
No, it's not the same. The one I'm talking about is called the Beamer, B-E-M-E-R. If you Google it, lots of information will come up. B-E-M-E-R, Beamer.
I'm a person that does this research on everything. Trust me, believe what I tell you.
Okay. All right, yeah. We have to. That's what it's all about. We have to do our own research just to take care of ourselves and our families and the people around us that we care about. So I appreciate that.
Yes, what's the name of your show?
The Power of You. It's a self-health, not help, HEALTH, optimization program.
I want to help you get your name up here, so when you come up, that's what it'll say.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
The opportunity, I will do that for you. Are you on here on your phone or your computer?
I'm on the computer.
Okay. All right.
When is your show?
My show. I don't announce my. First of all, let me just stop. I had a show up here called Talking with Leon. So I was 5 days every Monday. So I stepped down from that, and now I have an all-men support group. Comes on every last Monday of the month. It's called the King's Roundtable. If you look on that computer, I know you see that name up there. But that's the name of the show that I run right now is the King's Roundtable. It's an all-men support group. Every now and then I'll open it up to the females also.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Leon.
Sharon, can I say something?
Sure.
I love all these new, the Rife, not so new, the Beamer, the Healy, all these different technologies that help throw off the EMF that we're constantly bombarded with from all the radiation from the cell phones and the computers, burning a hole in the ozone layer. But I just want to tell people there's something really simple that everybody can do, and that's walking barefoot on the earth. It's called grounding.
Thank you for saying thank you.
Yeah, it is. Grounding is a technology that, like, if you were an electrician always has to have a grounded wire. They always have to be connected to the earth so that they don't get electrocuted. And that is a healing vibration that we can access by, walking barefoot on the earth. And I think we don't, we got these rubber shoes on and we don't connect enough with that healing vibration. And one of the things that I do when I do acupuncture is I use tuning forks. And tuning forks are what doctors used to use to see if you had a broken bone in your body. And tuning forks help bring those. There's different megahertz and different frequencies. And what they found is that when astronauts go into outer space, if they can't feel the Schumann resonance, that's the resonance of the earth, that they like go haywire. Like, so they put a device in the astronaut and it's based off the Schumann resonance so that they can feel grounded.
Wow.
It's very important to be grounded. When people say, I'm grounded, that's
it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because that's something we're also going to have at the retreat. If the weather permits, we have a grounding room outside. So you can go out there and spend a few minutes and get grounded.
Get grounded.
Yeah.
I love all the frequencies that, people are getting into, the sound bowls and gongs and bells and, because the music, and I'm not talking about anybody who's Catholic, I love you, but they have found that the Catholic Church tuned the frequency of music to, I can't think of the megahertz right now, the number, or change the scale of the music. And it's like all that music that we hear on the radio is like, it's like demonic. We think about it, but it's not healing. You can actually go on these on your computer and put in healing vibration sounds.
Oh yeah,
and it can help you too.
Right.
But a lot of that comes from not being in tune with ourselves and the natural rhythms of our body and the earth, and hearing water. Hearing fresh water run is relaxing. A lot of people will put those tunes on to go to sleep. And we were talking about, you wanted to talk about self-care, and one of the best self-care practices that you can do is to go into nature. When you go into nature, especially if you go in a wooded area with lots of trees, the amount of oxygen that you get increases, and you get a clarity, and you start to breathe deeper and everything, because trees help, bring that oxygen, produce the oxygen that our body needs. So, just people that live in the city, go try to get in tune with nature as much as you can. Try to take a walk. And, there are still some wooded spaces in the city. There are,
There are many in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing spaces in Philadelphia.
Yeah, this was Penn's Woods.
Yeah. We have a place, what's it called? I can't even think what it's called. I'm sorry, it escapes me, but we have a wooded area of a Wissahickon area. That,
you have one down right here.
Valley Green.
Valley Green, that's
Valley
it.
Green,
yeah. When you go down there, you forget you're in Philadelphia, And I live really close to a green space called Cobb Street Park. And that's another space. When you go down into the creek area, you forget you're in Philadelphia, and oxygen is our first food. That's the one food, and we don't consider it a food, but it is. It's the new.
Some things are just foundational.
Right. Without it, how long can we last without it? And to get, some pure oxygen is very healing. I am a certified hyperbaric oxygen therapy technician, which deals with putting people into an oxygen chamber for healing. And it's an amazing healer. It heals, and really, we're not really allowed to say what it heals actually, but it has a positive effect on almost everything, especially strokes. Children with autism they've seen amazing improvement in their ability. Cancer, heart disease, you name it, it helps because it puts oxygen directly into the cells, and that's where the healing begins.
Is that like one of the suits also?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
They're like one of the suits that you can buy also to wear.
Well,
sell here. You can't get them in the United States, but you can get them in Mexico.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with the suits.
Okay.
I'm talking about the chamber that you can get inside, and there's so many different types.
Well, they sell suits like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't get them in the United States. They don't sell them here.
Yeah.
They don't want us to heal ourselves.
Absolutely.
No money in it.
No money in it. Yeah, it's so many things that we don't have access to here in the United States for that reason, the capitalistic, motive.
Son, I hear y'all talk a lot of. You said walk around barefoot. I used to do that all the time. It's getting crucial out here with all these pesticides they be spraying. That's the difference between back then and now. But the sun is also the one that keeps us around also.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's the foundational stuff. We have to get proper sunlight, proper rest, proper nutrition, clean water. Those are foundational, proper sleep. Those are things that are foundational in a person's health routine. You cannot do without these things. And I see so many people saying, "Oh, I'm going to the gym." They do anything to get away from going outside. They want to go work out in an air-conditioned place. But just getting outside in nature is a workout.
It sure is. Yeah. So
one thing I tried, just to jump in here real quick, one thing I tried last year, I had read up on the properties of pineapple, orange, and sitting out in the sun. So if you're stressed or have some anxiety building up in you and you want a natural remedy to kind of bring your anxiety level down, your stress level down, eat some pineapple and some, like a navel orange, and sit out in the sun for like 30 minutes for the vitamin D. And something about those properties, when combined together, it starts to change those properties in your body to kind of elevate, bring your vibrations up, so you're not feeling down and sad or whatever. And I tried it a couple of times. It actually works, along with grounding with no socks and shoes on in the grass. Not even on concrete, but in the grass. So, that's something I just wanted to throw out in the room. I experienced it. It worked for me. And maybe if nobody heard about it, try it if you're feeling a little stress or anxiety building up and you want something natural to reduce it.
I love that you said that, because what you're talking about is seasonal affective disorder. And it's when we get go into the winter months, a lot of people will get this because of not getting enough sunlight. They will get something called seasonal affective disorder, and that the sunlight, the oranges, the pineapple, that gives you, not only is it vitamin C, you have the enzymes and the other things that will help. And you notice that oranges, the season for oranges is around Christmas time. It's like when that seasonal affective disorder would take place, and that's when oranges become ripe and at their best peak is around that time. You see them, like people get the boxes from Florida shipped up here, and it's because we're not spending enough time outside in nature in the sun. And and especially in the Northern American hemisphere, when the days become shorter, you can see that your levels of vitamin D will go down. You become most everybody in North America is vitamin D deficient, not spending enough time outdoors. But when the optimum hours to spend outdoors is when the sun hits you, is I think it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
And it's good to go like in the summertime when you go out in the sun, to have your chest exposed, that you can get a lot of that sunlight through your chest.
Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome information.
I do. My mother taught me this. She said her grandmother taught her that when you take an orange and you peel it and you leave those peels around, the peelings of the orange, and let them dry out, when she was a girl, her grandmother would give them a little piece of it for vitamin C.
That's right. Asian cultures, they eat the peeling, and you should always get organic oranges and dry those peelings and put them in your tea.
Okay. Yeah, and the pectin, the white part.
That's the pith of it.
Mm-hmm. The pith, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have for today. Thank you for
Sharon. This is Nabiha. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I want to welcome you to the show. Good. My name is Nabiha, and I am on Grown Folks Talking, and welcome you to the show with your new show.
Thank you so much.
My show is called Let Us Heal the World. I come on, and every other Saturday we're going to alternate. Okay, so I come on next Saturday, and that's how it is. And
at the same time. What time? What time is your show? 8:30. Okay.
And also welcome your guest. Your guest Tiffany. Yeah, everything you all have said is key and is very beneficial. And so I just when we were talking about the methyl, B, because I have been taking that off and on, and it's a chemical science to that B. It's just a higher form, more alkaline, and it affects the DNA cell. It gives it more of a blueprint to help it to expedite what it's supposed to do, okay, when the cells are divided. So it's like a high upgrade level in the B family. So it gets into the system very fast, okay? It helps to enhance the DNA, and it helps with the fetus and the bone and, just cell replication and all that. So when the cell divides, it just activates things rapidly, okay? So you get a supercharge But you can, go into, the science of it more so. But it's the chemical reaction when you're dealing with chemistry. Okay. And when you talked about the beamer, because I was waiting, I wanted people to talk, and I don't like to intrude. But the beamer, I've had experience with that machine. It is awesome. It's very good. Yes. It's a gentleman in Newark, New Jersey. His name is Kiwi. And I went to the demonstration about 3 years ago, and I was surprised at how well it worked. I had an experience with it for like 8 minutes. You don't usually sit on it very long.
Right. That's
and
the average.
Yeah, and my daughter, she has a problem hearing. And so she sat on the machine. When she got off the machine, she said, Mommy, I can hear. It lasts for hours till the next day, but, the effect of that session was just outstanding. And she said, I can hear the person, at the door, talking. So her hearing was improved. And she goes, often to get, her therapy and a session. Yeah, so, I'm aware of that machine, and I love it. I wanted to purchase it. It's a bit expensive, but, they put you on a payment plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So,
thank you for that.
Everything you talk about, Qigong and those kinds of natural therapy, it's very beneficial. I, practice it, and I'm just going to continue with it after having my little experiences last year, and I'm doing well, and I just incorporate all of that, you all talked about, so God bless you both, and, we want to get more and hear more, and just welcome to the family.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to have the person, Mike Tyson, as a guest on my show very soon, so he can tell us more about the beamer.
Yes, okay. That's good, yes. Because I saw some videos and, just saw how it actually works and how it activates the cell, and it's just miraculous. It's just a wonderful equipment, yeah. So thanks for sharing that. And about your retreat. Now, when is that going to be again?
That's October 28th.
Oh, gosh, so many things happening around that time. I was going to make a commitment to another event, but October, okay.
October 20th, yeah, that's a Saturday. So, if you're interested.
It's a one day?
It's just a day. One day. It's from 10 to 6. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a day retreat.
Yeah, okay.
In Philadelphia.
Okay, right. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'll have to make a decision. Yes, I told my girlfriend I might consider her event, but she gives it, I think, every month. Yeah, I have a guest speaker that comes, and he's a imam, so he speaks, on Islamic perspective. So I can always see him another time. I need to get some healing because I work on myself. But, there are times they say every healer needs a healer, So, yeah. So I'm going to think about it.
Think about it. Yeah, if you have any questions, outside of here, just give me a call. Again, my number is 267-334-4655.
Yes, I wrote it down. Yes.
Okay, great.
Sure. And I love what you have on the agenda and the food, the dishes are plant-based and all that. Yeah, that is definitely something I would like to, share and experience it myself again, Okay. So thank you so much. And, be blessed.
All right. Thank you. I hope you make the decision to join us.
It does seem like a family on here, like all these people with the different shows, and everybody knows each other. This is wonderful.
Yes. Thank you.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair.
Sister Sharon, I wanted to ask you a question. Oh, Sister Nabir, that's my mentor right there. But she knows a lot. She's told me, especially about the essential oils. She knows the helichrysum, and if I'm saying it right, Sister Nabir, she turned me on to that. So yes. But I want to ask you and Sister Tiffany a question. Since you were talking about the bees, because I take a bee complex every day. I was wondering, one thing that you have to order separate, and I learned about it, believe it or not, about 3 or 4 years ago. I looked at it was on YouTube, B17, and it was a gentleman that was
Laetrile?
No, the B17 from the apricot, the current.
Yeah, that's Laetrile.
Laetrile, okay. And what he was doing was he was grinding that down to a powder, and he was treating people and helped reverse their cancer, and they locked him up. They said he was practicing without a license, and he locked him up. He came back out and told the story. I was like, wow. So a friend of mine went on Amazon because if I don't have to, all right, because I don't have an Amazon account. I try to deal with people that are struggling and have businesses in our communities. You know, just like down in Philly. I'm up here in Newark. You have our dear brother Moore. Now I'm trying to think of his name. Come on, he's been down there since the 70s. Tony Moore. Brother Tony Moore down there in Philly. I forgot what street
I work
on,
with Tony.
Yeah, we had Tony on here for a while. He had a show up here. And Tony got, along with Sister Marva, who's down there, she had a show up here for a minute. And, of course, my dear sister, she called me today, Sister Jacqueline Ali, you know. So I always said North was like a little Philly because it is. It kind of reminds you of Philly because I shared with Sister Sharon when she came through Dr. Ali that my grandparents lived on North Smedley Street. We used to always get in my father's station wagon when I was a little boy and go down there and look forward to the apple pies that she used to always bake. But I just want to say to you also, welcome to the network, all right, Sister Sharon and Sister Tiffany. Y'all, listen, Sister Tiffany, even though being a guest, you are part of the family. And
Thank you.
And this is just so big. We have a family affair because we all treat each other like family, and we have plenty of off-the-cuff chats with each other. So it's like that up here. And I just want to thank you for this wonderful information. Also, you mentioned the hyperbaric chamber. Now, people used to think, because remember they took pictures of Michael Jackson when he was alive in the hyperbaric chamber.
Right.
And people say he's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
But they didn't realize. See, Michael was very smart.
He
even dealt at one time with Dr. Savy because Dr. Savy told his story on
sure
Michael.
Did.
You know. So with that hyperbaric chamber, sister, if I'm not mistaken, if you got enough bucks, you could buy one for your house. Am I correct with that?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry. Absolutely, I used to have one in my house. You can lease them also, but you can certainly buy them for your house. Yes, you can.
What do they normally run if you want to purchase one outright, sis?
You can buy one as low as around $10,000. You know, it depends on.
It does a good job.
Yes.
For $10,000, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it also true that when you do buy them for your house, you can only use it for your house and for the people in your house? You cannot use it for anybody outside of your house.
Well, it's really not regulated in that way. So there's no rule that says that. But the thing is, when you do allow other people to use it, and if you're using it for a business, or if you're charging money for them to use it, you want to make sure you get one that is FDA approved. Not that it's a better piece of equipment, but for liability reasons, you want to get an FDA approved chamber, and they are a little more expensive. So that's just something to consider.
You know what Sharon taught me? I want to share it with you guys. I have become claustrophobic in my older age, and I was like, I don't think I could do it because I've seen the hyperbaric chambers and they're a little close. But she said that they have ones where people can get in together, like larger ones as well.
Yeah, they have some that 10 people could be inside, but that would be in like a in a medical facility. That wouldn't be anything you would have in your home. Wow. But if you needed the treatment, the point is, if you needed the treatment, you could possibly go to a facility that has a large one where if you have issues with claustrophobia and you didn't want to be confined in a small area, there are much larger ones that you can get inside. So.
And can you tell them about the family member that was due to get amputated?
Oh, that was my personal exposure to hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I have a family member that she has diabetes, and she had an infection in her foot, that wasn't healing, and it was really getting really bad. And she went to the hospital, and they kept her, and they told her all they could do for her is amputate the foot. And she decided no, she wasn't going to allow them to amputate her foot, and she got out of there before they could do that. And she saw her primary doctor the next day, who surprisingly referred her to a facility that had hyperbaric oxygen chambers for wound healing, because it's covered by medical insurance for wound healing. Pretty much that's about it, wound healing, but it helps with so many other things. And she was able to get treatment. I believe she had 10 consecutive treatments. Every day she went for 10 days, and she was in the chamber for about an hour and a half a day, and her foot healed completely. And they were going to amputate her foot.
Amputate, yeah.
So
why don't we know this? Why are we having people in our community still getting amputated? Like, this is so necessary. So much good information.
Yeah.
True.
I recently had a family member that they wanted to amputate, and they had to do 6 to 8 weeks of intravenous antibiotics. But first thing they want to do is, if they were going to cut, and the person said, no, I don't want you to cut. But that was their first option. They said that's the complete cure, is to amputate.
Can you imagine that? That's a cure.
It's just,
yeah.
Money.
It's about money, right?
Money. They cut our foot off, our toes off. Let's say our foot, the whole foot, half the foot. You got to think about it. It's money after the fact, because you got to get the prosthetic.
Yep.
That's more money.
That's it.
And they don't stop at the foot. They cut the foot, and then the next thing they want to take the leg, and they keep going up.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I had a friend that passed away like that. They kept chopping up on him, and he thought he was coming out, and never made out at Kessler Institute over in Mountainside, New Jersey.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah. Anybody have any other questions?
Yes. Hi. Thank you for presentation. And I just would like to ask a gentleman who brought this a subject of the hyperbaric chute, and I will try to research that on the internet. But if I won't find anything, if there are any suggestions where to look for it, and I understand that I heard that it's not available here in the States, but what other countries is available in?
Just Mexico.
Thank you.
I only found it in Mexico. So
wow,
there's a lot of information, and I'm going to get you, sister, the information.
Okay, good.
I've heard of that. I'm going to make sure that you get that information, sister, because I do have it. I just don't like to speak it, because you speak anything and people don't believe what you speak. But if I send it to you, you'll see for yourself. And that is coming from the FDA.
Is it made there, or is just available there too?
They don't want us to. They don't want us to have. They're not going to sell us anything over here. They don't bring it over here. They don't bring it over here because it's a healing. I'm going to use the word again. It heals us. They're not trying to heal us. There's no money in any of the Western medicine healing us. And so we're going to continue to keep making money as long as we're asleep. We're not awake.
Absolutely, I agree. And we've been told by the practitioner who uses that. We've been there a couple of times, but because he's very affordable, but we still couldn't afford that at the moment. So we've been told by him that most of the hospitals have it, and it's collect dust.
Vito, I'm going to make sure, Vito, that you get the information, and I'm going to make sure this young lady get the information. But when I send it to you, it's an interview that a young lady was having with another gentleman about health, about everything we're talking about. and she's going to go into what I just got finished sharing with y'all. That's where I got the information from and where he got his suit from. And in that interview, you'll hear him say that you got to go to Mexico to get the suit, and then they're going to put that what I just shared with you, that the limitation that if you do, you cannot use it outside of your family.
Oh,
so I'm going to send you.
Thank you.
Your information. You get yours, and I'm gonna get the young ladies, and I'm gonna send y'all the video.
Okay, I appreciate it.
There's a lot of good stuff going on in Mexico.
It is, yeah.
A lot
well, Dr. Gerson migrated to Mexico.
Yeah, Dr. Max Gerson, Charlotte Gerson, yes.
Yep.
That's what Dr. Savy got his start from. But the thing of it is, the way it was before, it's not now. It's dangerous over there now. We go over there to get these different things. We have to watch out because, they're over there taking us out over there.
It's true. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Thank you for that.
I thought Charlotte Gerson had passed.
Yes, I'm just saying these are people. Max Gerson, Charlotte Gerson, the Gerson Institute has been helping people with various illnesses for years. I can remember watching an interview with Charlotte Gerson, and she said, my insurance is, I canceled my insurance and I'm not telling anybody to cancel your insurance, but I canceled my insurance a long time ago. I put my money into my food I eat.
Yeah, and her center now is called Chilsa. It's the Gerson. It's not Gerson Institute anymore. It's called Chipsa.
But you know what? Just to share with you, sister, I had a sister by the name of Renee. She comes on Gary Knowles PRN Monday at 2:00, and she came up here. But Issa is a student of hers. She comes up here Sunday at 3. And what happened was she said she was going to investigate. I have to ask Renee because this was months ago, where actually somebody had infiltrated the Gerson Institute, and they were trying to put chemo as part of the cure for cancer.
Oh, wow.
Within the institute. Maybe that's why that name had changed.
And that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they always advocated. I remember she used to always talk, and somebody would hand her a glass of carrot juice. I remember her.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes. She was big on that carrot juice.
Oh, yeah. That was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the infiltration, that's always
always the case.
Yeah.
We're waking up every day as the people. It doesn't matter to me what color you are. We are slowly waking up as the people. As long as we have talks, information like this, whether you believe or not, the only thing we can tell you to do when the information comes out, research it for yourself. That's the only way you can be sure about what somebody is saying up here or anywhere. But I think slowly, better late than never, we're waking up as the people.
Yes, we are. Yes. And do we have any more questions? Because we're going to close out in a couple minutes. We're good.
Yes, this is Rashad.
Hi, Rashad.
Rashad, there you go. Yeah.
Yes, Andrea Forrest called me to let me know about your show. Like I said, welcome to Grown Folks Talking, and it's good that you're going to have your show every other week. I'll be tuning in. Great information, wonderful information. And I was thinking about the oxygen chamber because I know a fella for years. He's had these ulcerated feet that never seem to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get him to use the black castor oil to rub it on there, and they started to heal. But then his doctors told him he had some kind of liver problem. Then his feet got worse, and he's always got to wear these sandals, and he limps. And I was thinking, maybe that's something he can do, get into this oxygen chamber and maybe be able to heal these feet up.
Yeah, he sounds like a great candidate for that. And because it will fall under wound healing, it would be covered under insurance. The issue is that the doctors don't recommend it. They don't refer you unless you bring it up. He would have to bring it up to them. And it's very possible that he could do that without any cost to him if he has health insurance and be healed.
It was never recommended for my family member.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to make any money off of that.
Yes. So is there somewhere here in Jersey, we're in the Newark area, where he can
I can tell you, there's a place called it's called HBOT USA.
HBOT?
HBOT. It's like that's the acronym for hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So HBOT.
Okay.
USA. If you Google that, that'll come up. It's in North Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's one place I know he could go and get evaluated and treated. The issue there might be insurance, though. So if cost is an issue and he wants to have it covered, he needs to go probably through his primary care physician, and they can refer him. It's just that they actually a lot of them just don't know. They don't know about it. They don't know about they just don't know. So you have to be insistent. And he may, because most of the major hospitals have chambers in them. They're there. They're just like I heard somebody say earlier. They're collecting dust.
Yeah, they use them for burn victims a lot. So
right, definitely they do use them. They do.
They use it. And but I remember Gary Noe. He always spoke about if a person had a stroke, if he could immediately to an oxygen chamber, he won't suffer with paralysis or anything, to get back to normal pretty quick.
That's true.
So that's a good thing from what he mentioned, So this is powerful stuff. So I'm going to definitely let the brother know to look into this, and maybe he can get the healing he needs. Another thing I want to share, I know we're talking about nature and everything. I love nature. You know what's really healing? And every morning, I'm up early in the morning. I listen to the birds, and those chirps, those vibrations, different vibrations from different birds, is very healing. Very,
definitely.
I mean, it's very meditative. It's just a wonderful.
Are you in Philadelphia, brother?
Huh?
Are you in Philadelphia?
No, I'm up here in East Orange, New Jersey, right next to Newark. And my backyard, I have a lot of birds that come back there. I feed them too. And there's different chirps, and it's like you have all these different birds having a conversation with different chirps.
They are.
It is so beautiful. The vibrations from it, I mean, it's wonderful.
There's the Black Birders of Philadelphia. There's a group, there's birder groups all over the country, but Philadelphia has a Black Birders group. I actually went to Ecuador and I studied hummingbirds. That's the national bird of Ecuador, and I studied with a healer in Ecuador doing hummingbird healing with hummingbirds. So what you're saying. What you're saying is so true. The birds, watching them and learning from them, their migratory patterns, all that is very healing. Yes,
I've seen hummingbirds, and it's amazing the way they just float right there with their wings and the hum. It's a good vibration, It's something that's so amazing. But all the different birds, all the birds,
they know your presence, human presence.
All talking to each other. It's so amazing, and the different sounds. I mean, it's like music to your ears.
It is, yeah.
Music to your ears, and I always suggest people listen. Go out early in the morning and just birds instead of putting the headphones on to walk and everything. When you go out, take your walk, forget about the headphones. Just listen to nature. and like I think one I don't know who said it, but walking on grass barefooted, and getting the vibrations from the earth is wonderful. I know Leon said something about, the pesticides, but, my backyard, I don't have pesticides or anything because I don't believe in any of that. And I walk around but when it's warm, not in the cold, but, I mean, it feels so good. It's so soothing, so healing.
I'm so glad that you mentioned the birds because birds are a lot of birds are pollinators for us, and they with us building tall skyscrapers and stuff like that, it messes with their migratory patterns. It messes with a lot of things. But one thing that we can do to help with that is to plant plants that they can eat off for the bees and the birds, and also we can put bird baths in our yard, and that's a thing that we can do to help the birds. And when you see them come to and take the baths and put bird feeders up and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff we can do to get in touch with nature.
Oh, I saw today. Something came up on the phone. It said something about 1,000 birds died instantly. It was in Oregon, I think it was. I don't know if they flew into a building or what. 1,000 of them died. Just suddenly flying into a building or something. They had it on my phone, one of those things that pop up. And I was like, wow, 1,000 of them just like that, just died instantly.
Yeah, because these new buildings, they're it's glass. A lot of the buildings are glass, and they're flying right into the glass, thinking that they can go through it. I've seen that happen, and it's sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, it is. It is, but.
Hey,
but
quick, the hummingbirds.
The hummingbirds. Oh, I wish I had some hummingbirds back here.
Yes. Put a hummingbird feeder up.
They'll come. Yeah. I want to share something.
They'll come. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
When I was younger.
Okay, we have to talk one at a time.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was in a foster home. I was in several foster homes, but anyway, the last foster home I was in. The gentleman there, he had a big, huge cage in the basement full of birds, all types of birds. He loved birds, and and I used to just feed him all the time. But that's how I got to like birds, and it was so soothing just hearing them chirping and just looking at them and everything. It was really nice, And so I got to the point where I was always feeding birds. And when I had my store up in East Orange, every morning I would put sunflower seeds out in front of the store for the birds. And as soon as I get there, all of them come fly around me waiting for the sunflower seeds. And at one point they started getting a little more aggressive. They're flying into the store. Once more. Sunflower seeds, but they got so used to me.
Wow.
It was amazing. But I love birds, and I think they're beautiful creatures,
Yes, they are. We have time for one more.
I just want to comment. I just want to comment on the hummingbird.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this summer, as you know, Sharon, I had a retreat. And I have this vine that puts off this beautiful trumpet-like flower. It's orange and yellow. And throughout the summer, throughout the month of August, I saw more hummingbirds and butterflies in my yard than I've ever seen in the past. Those hummingbirds, the way they move, captivated my attention. One afternoon, I had to videotape it. It was just beautiful, just to sit there and watch right here in my backyard, out the window of my kitchen. I'm looking, and It was like 3 or 4 of them. They just kept coming out. And when you talk about the bird baths, we have 2 bird baths in our yard, not a bird feeder, but it's something about nature that attracts me, and the sounds of the birds in the morning, as the gentleman was just saying. Those are all tools that I use to keep me mindful of my place in this universe. So the fact that you guys brought up the hummingbird and the water fountains, the nature, thank you. I'm glad I joined, Sharon. Thank you for the invite. Keep me looped in, and I'm just looking forward to being able to express and receive lots of information moving forward. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that comment, Renee. And so
Sharon, please forgive me. I just want to get off, but I wanted to tell Brother Rashad if he wants to call me about his friend who has some issue with his wounds, like with his legs or whatever. I can share those 2 products until he can get into the chamber, if he can, if his insurance doesn't, service him for that. There's 2 products, inshallah, God willing, that he can just, share with him, and then perhaps he can start on it. It helped my dad, in the past, to heal his wound.
Okay, Nabi,
in a short period of time. So,
I have to get in touch with you about that. Okay.
You
can call me. I'll probably see the gentleman tomorrow. So.
Okay.
I'm.
If you can call me tonight, or if you want me to text it to you, I can text it. Yeah. Okay.
What you do? Do you have my?
It's Pignogenol and Super Ginkgo. Pignogenol and Super Ginkgo. Pignogenol. So I have to spell it for you, and Super Ginkgo. Okay. It helps me there tremendously.
Pignogenol is from Swiss pine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pignogenol. Yeah. That's from the pine.
Okay. And the Super Ginkgo, it helps accelerate the the healing process very fast. Yeah, the Super Ginkgo.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Super Ginkgo and Pignogenol. Do you carry that?
Pardon me now?
Do you carry that, Sister?
No, I don't care. I would always buy it from the health food store. Yeah. Whole Foods, but you need I'll have to tell you, Billy, how to purchase it in terms of his weight or whatever, too, when you use the Pignogenol. So, inshallah, if you want me to text it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll text it to you.
Yeah, just text it, right to my cell phone, and I'll share that with him tomorrow, okay?
Yes, he can get on that, and it will help tremendously, get him started. So if he can get the other, service with that chamber, then perhaps that can even help him more so. But this does work very fast, because my dad, they were amazed that they wouldn't call the wound specialist, and my dad said, get me something to take by mouth, because he was diabetic, and he had a bed sore. It was very bad. It was just so deep, okay, and in no time. And then they asked him, what did she do for him? He was asking, what did I do? Because they told me not to touch it. So I didn't touch the wound. But, he took that internally, and it was excellent. So, inshallah, I'll text that to you, okay?
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for that information.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, so I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. It was a great first show for me, and I want to thank my guest, Tiffany Robbins. She's amazing. So I hope you got her contact information, and you can stay in touch with her. Tiffany, you want to give them your phone number one last time?
Sure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for welcoming me into the family. I just wanted to say one last thing. There's many modalities for healing. Don't stop at one. Don't stop at two. Try them all, but get yourself healed. Be better. And my number is 484-343-2172.
All right. Thank you so much, Tiffany. And I want to thank Forrest for inviting me to participate with this family. So I feel very welcomed, and I look forward to the next show, which will be on October 21st at 8:30 p.m. Everyone have a wonderful evening. Get a good night's sleep.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Take care.
Nice.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Dear. Bye.
Okay.
Make sure you stop the recording, miss.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
Got to. That's what teamwork makes the dream work.
All right. Thank you.